What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome to another video. Within the past few months, I have turned the big 22. Now, I don't know why in my head, 22 is so much older than 21. 21, I feel like you're just freshly in your 20s, you're freshly out of your teens. You know, it's in some countries, it's the legal drinking age. It's still young. 22 is like already closer to 23, which is almost 25, which is almost 30. And in my head, 22 is just so big. I don't know. I don't like it. I also don't like that I'm gonna be 23 next year. That just freaks me out. But within these 22 years of life, I have learned many things, and I thought it would be a fun video idea to do 22 things that I've learned in 22 years of life. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, let's begin. I have all of the 22 ideas written down. I have taken time, thought of the 22 most important ideas in my head, and I've literally written them down. So let's begin. The first lesson I learned, which actually there's a story associated with this lesson. There was someone in my high school that actually passed away many years before I learned this lesson, but they used to run a program every year in honor of his death. And they said that when he passed away, they found a list it was the time before phones or before iPhones. They found a notebook in his backpack where he had written down lessons of life. And he had written this one down, and I thought it was so important and it was such an amazing idea. So I always try to think of it. So the first lesson is never say no to a social event. Now I know, and I feel this all the time, being slightly introverted, it is so much easier to be like, no, I'm tired, I don't want to do it, I don't want to go. No. But the truth is, once you push yourself, you get out of bed, you get dressed, and you go to the social event, you can always leave early, and only good can come of that. And I think it's really important to try and push ourselves. It's really easy to stay in your comfort zone, but this idea of never saying no to a social event, always going out, always being keen for something, it just results in better memories and new friends. So the first thing that I always try to do is never say no to a social event. The second thing that I have learned is to always befriend the person that you like. Now I know that sounds really strange, but what I mean by that is if there is someone that you like and they are taken, they have a partner, I believe it's really important to become genuinely friends with that partner. So you start to understand why they are more suited together, and you start to be happy for your friend who is now dating this amazing person rather than being jealous of the whole situation. And I think it really allows you a bit more perspective in regard to the whole situation, because you understand, oh, I want my friend to be happy. They are very suited together. That person makes them happy. Let me just deal with that. Instead of being jealous and seeing an outside perspective, you get to really understand the whole inside perspective and understand just why it is so good for them. The third thing that I have learned is when drying cups, always turn them upside down. Now, this one is obviously not on the same theme of deepness. However, if you dry here, let's take this for example. Here, I have a bottle with some water in it. If I let this dry like this, the water will gather and it'll mold and it'll make this part of the cup moldy, and the water itself will get really disgusting. However, if you turn your cup upside down, the water will drip out, creating no mold and allowing the whole cup to become dry. The fourth thing that I have learned is always put your laundry immediately away. If you allow your laundry to pile up, you gain the chair. Everyone has or had a chair in their room that you would put laundry on, and the laundry would build up and up and up and up and up, and it would just be the dumping ground. And honestly, having one of those in my room just clouds my brain so much that I actually can't think straight. So I always put my laundry away straight away, and then every time you do laundry, the pile is smaller. It's way less intimidating, way easier to tackle, and you always know which clothes are clean and which clothes are dirty. And I think just put your laundry away. Just put your laundry away. And the truth is, we always say it's gonna take so long. If you do it in small increments, it's gonna take way shorter than if you leave the chair, and then the chair takes hours to deal with. So just put the laundry away. The fifth thing that I have learned is always make your bed in the morning. Now, it's such an annoying, trivial task to do. However, I always feel like if I made my bed, I have done something for the day. I am organized, I've got it sorted, and it's a really nice thing to come back to at the end of the day, because you come back to a clean room, your bed is made, you know every night you're getting into a fresh bed, and I just think it makes me feel so good. It feels like, wow, one thing is done, and I really stand by. Just make your bed. It'll just make you feel so good. so good and so in control because you are in control of your own chores. And you've done it. You made the bed. The sixth thing that I have learned is to be self-aware. Now, it's way easier said than done, obviously. However, I think being self-aware is the biggest gift that you can give yourself because you understand the impacts of your actions and you understand the impact that you have on others. And it's really important because we obviously live in a world filled with people. It's important that we understand what we do to others. So if you allow yourself to be self-aware and understand the impact of what you're doing, you understand your role in society and your role in relation to everyone around you. And it's really easy to understand what is going to happen because you understand what you're doing. The seventh thing, which is something that we all struggle with, including, I'll put my hand up, be patient. Understand that things happen at the right time and have faith that things are going to happen properly, and be patient. Do not be aware of what you're waiting for. And you need it now, because the truth is if you rush things, the quality is way lower. And I mean homework, I mean friendships, I mean people, relationships, all these different things. If you rush things, your quality is way lower. So be patient, understand what will happen at the right time, in the right way, at the right place. So be patient. So the eighth thing that I have learned is that progress starts with micro progress, which is such an hard thing to understand. And I am not patient. I want things and I want them to be proper now, and I want to do them now. And I think it's really important to understand that every little step of progress counts. Every step, every little bit, it gets you closer to your final destination. And it's really important to remember, don't look at the whole picture. Look at the little tiny micro progress. And I think that is really important because it's so helpful to being, again, patient with yourself, connected to the previous one, but also understanding that even if you only gain one step every single day, you're still, at the end of the week, you're 7 steps closer than you were at the beginning of the week. And understand that every little step counts. The ninth thing that I have learned is to get rid of toxic people. Now, this is so much easier said than done because sometimes it's hard to even see that people are toxic for you. However, it's so important to remember that the people around you have impact on you, and their energies affect and infect your energies. And it's really important to remember that if someone is toxic, if you are hanging out with someone and when you leave you feel drained, you feel exhausted, you feel bad about yourself, they are toxic and they are not going to help you at all. In the long run, they are going to decrease the way that you see yourself, like your own perception of your own self-value. And you know what? Can them. If they are being toxic and they are hurting your soul, cut them out. Cut them. You do not need them at all. Now, the 10th thing that I have learned is something that is really, really hard to recognize and something that is really hard to always remind yourself. But it's people have different ways of expressing things and people have different ways of doing things. And it's really easy to get upset with people when they don't act the way you would and they don't see things the way you would. And it's really, really, really hard sometimes to resolve these issues because it's like, if I see blue as blue and you see blue as red and we're fighting over which blue is right, we see things differently. And it's really hard to fight with people when you are expecting them to see things the way you do. And so the way to resolve this is clear communication. It's really important to be able to say, I know you did X because you thought that it would lead to Y, and I also want to be at Y, but for me, X is not the way to do it, it's actually Z. And with this clear communication, it's easy to understand what people's genuine goal was, what their motivation was, and understanding how we can all connect in the middle. Instead of being upset that I'm speaking Spanish and you're speaking English, we can try to speak the same language. The 11th thing is something that I need to remind myself constantly every single day, is that do not overthink. If you catch yourself overthinking, you need to stop. Because the truth is, overthinking just leads into this turmoil of self-doubt, and the truth is, it's probably not even true. The thing that you're overthinking probably didn't actually happen. You're just seeing it that way, and because you spent so much time thinking about it, it's now resulted into this whole big deal, when the truth is someone probably didn't even mean to look at you that way. So if you catch yourself overthinking, be in control of your own thoughts and stop yourself and say, okay, it wasn't supposed to be like that. And just breathe and try to resolve it in your own brain, because the overthinking is just going to hurt you. And I am the biggest overthinker. And I doubt myself way too much because of overthinking. And the truth is, people like us, we've got to be a bit more confident in ourselves. And when those thoughts try to get in, we just block them out. The 12th thing that I've learned, and this is something that has been really hard for me to understand, something that's really hard for me to keep living, but it's the idea that looking after yourself and doing what's best for you is not selfish. The truth is, for people that it's not natural to be selfish, it's really hard sometimes to prioritize yourself because you're so used to seeing people and so used to looking out for them. However, the truth is, you have to be the one to look after you. No one else is going to see you the way you do, because no one else knows your thoughts. No one else knows how exactly you're feeling. No one else has access to all of these inner feelings that you're experiencing. And you need to be able to prioritize yourself and be able to say, okay, I know you need a life jacket and I need a life jacket, but right now I'm gonna take the life jacket. There is a reason that on the plane, if there is an accident, you are supposed to help yourself first before you help other people. And the truth is, because you're the only one that's so aware of your abilities, and you need to be prioritizing yourself first and reminding yourself in those moments when you feel like giving your whole bank account away, you feel like the reason you don't want to do that is because you're being selfish. It's not. It's called self-priority and looking after yourself and ensuring that you're okay. Because you cannot make yourself small for other people. We all take up a certain amount of space in the world, and you need to ensure that you take up your space. You can't give your space away. You need to look after yourself, and it is not selfish. The 13th thing is more of a tip than a lesson, but I think it's really important, and that's having at least one day a week without your phone. Now, it is so hard. The whole world is reliant on technology and on phones, and if I put my phone away, it's not going to make me more calm, because the truth is, everyone around me is on their phones. However, that one day without your phone, how much are you really going to miss? You're going to miss maybe an Instagram post that you can check the day after. You're going to miss a few WhatsApp messages that you probably wouldn't have answered anyway. And the truth is, for you to have a disconnect from all these things is so important. We spend all of our lives on social media where we're looking at other people and seeing what they're doing. And while it's great and it connects people all around the world, it can be really bad for our mental health. And it's really important to be able to say, you know what? I need a break. I'm done. I'm going to take this day for me. And that day will change your life, because you will finally get a break to listen to only your thoughts, not everyone else's voices, just your own thoughts in your head. And it's so important to have that day to just have a break from all that buzz going on. The 14th thing is something that I aspire to have, and that's live the life you dream of. I have this idea in my head. I want to be that person that laughs out loud and dances in the rain and has fun. And the truth is, why can't I be that way? What is stopping me except for me being in my own way? What's stopping me from being like that? And that's the truth. We should be able to live the lives that we dream of, have all the fantasies we want. No one's talking about jumping up and being on the moon, but we're just talking about having this genuine feeling of peace and love. And it's not so hard if we strive to get there. And I think, understand that in your head, understand that your dream life is a reality, and then work towards it. The 15th thing is something that I really try to do every single day, and that is having the goal of my life to be self-amusement. If I could laugh every single day, that is what I would do. I think that it is so important to be happy, and if you're smiling, even if you're in a bad mood and you force yourself to smile, you cannot stay in a bad mood. And I am very proud to say that my goal in life is self-amusement. I do things that are dumb just because I think they're funny. And honestly, it makes everything so much lighter, because you understand that life isn't so serious and you can have fun and you can be stupid and silly and who cares? Who the hell cares? And if someone does care, it's more of a reflection on them than it is on you. And that's so important to remember. So live the life you dream, laugh out loud, self-amusement, and just try to be lighter. And that is the goal. If we can lighten ourselves, it just, nothing's so serious. And it's fun. It's way more fun. That sort of leads into my 16th thing that I have learned, which is always be the person that is laughing. I think it's so important, as I've just said, to be happy and to be light. And if you're the one that can always make a joke out of something and make something more fun, why not be that person? Why not be the person that's enjoying it a bit more and having a bit more fun and just giggle and laugh and do silly things? And I think that, all of these things, the reason why we don't is because we're afraid of what people will think. But the truth is, if we're the ones laughing, we're having way more of a better time than they are. That if they're going to judge us for having a good time, well, it says more about them than it does about us. The 17th thing on my list is do silly things that make you feel good. Now this, I don't mean laughing, I mean like get your nails done. Buy that stupid shirt that you want. do all these small little tasks that people might say are dumb, and buy your coffee. If that makes you feel good, do it. It's such a simple thing, and feeling good is so important. And I don't mean waste your whole bank account by buying Gucci and Chanel all the time, no. But what I mean is buying a coffee is something that is so simple. However, the impact it's going to have on you is way bigger than the $6 or the $5 or the $3. I don't drink coffee, I don't know how much it is. But the impact it's going to have on you is way bigger than the small little task. Getting your nails done. It's a small little task, but it's probably going to make you feel so much better. Then just do it. Just do it. It's not something that you need to battle yourself about. Oh, is it worth it? Is it not? If you need that pick-me-up, go get that pick-me-up. The 18th tip is always carry cash on you. I was once with a friend, and her mom, we were in high school, I think we were probably 14, 15, and her mom dropped us off and she said, do you have phone battery and do you have cash on you? And I remember thinking wow, that's really smart. If you're stuck somewhere, it's probably good to have cash on you. And this is something that I need to work on, because I'm really bad. If I have cash, I'll just spend it because I'm well, the money's out of my account already. But the truth is, it's so important to always have cash on you to be safe, just in case the worst thing happens, you've got cash to get yourself out of a situation. So always carry cash on you. The 19th thing that I've learned is try to see things from other people's perspective. Now, this sort of connects to understanding that people do things differently to you. However, if you're in an argument, it makes things a lot clearer if you can try to see the other person's perspective, so you understand why there is an argument and why you're not seeing eye to eye. And if you can understand their perspective, it's not necessarily telling them that they're right and you're wrong, because you might 100% be right. However, it allows you to understand why they're upset, and it's easier to see how you can resolve this argument. And it's something that is not easy. It's not easy to put yourself in a position where you're seeing yourself as the bad guy. However, if you try to see their perspective, then you will probably understand what is going on a little bit better, because we all know every argument, every story has two sides. And if you can see the other side, it's probably going to help you understand why there's a conflict. The 20th thing that I have learned is something from the TV show Teen Wolf. If you haven't watched Teen Wolf, I definitely recommend it. We love Dylan O'Brien and we love Tyler Posey. But Teen Wolf is really cool because it's obviously a show that's very simple. It's about werewolves. However, they discuss super interesting and deep ideas within the show. And there is this concept that they talk about called regression to the mean, which means that life is always a balance. And if something is too good, it's not always going to stay too good. Life can't be this fantasy fairy tale all the time. And so if life is too good, it'll probably go back to normal pretty soon. And if life is really bad, it'll probably be resolved really bad. It cannot stay a fantasy or a nightmare at any given point. And I think that is really important to remember, because we know regression to the mean. If your life is amazing, everything's going right, enjoy it, live the life, be light, be happy in that moment, because you don't know when that's going to be taken away. And if you're really struggling, have faith, because you know that it cannot stay like that forever and it will get better. So this concept of regression to the mean is something that I love, because it means everything always comes back to the middle at some point. It comes back to that balance point of good and bad. The 21st thing that I have learned is actually a concept that my friend taught me from the movie We Bought a Zoo, which is 20 seconds of courage. Now, the whole idea of 20 seconds of courage is that 20 seconds, we know, is a very small portion of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We know it's a very short period of time. However, it's such a powerful period of time, because how much bad can really happen in 20 seconds? Not that much. However, how much good can happen is astronomical, even if it's as simple as just smiling at someone. That smile, that person could be having a shocking day, and your smile has reminded them that people are kind and nice and made them feel good. Greeting someone, having a really short phone call, it can make people have such a good day. And it can impact people in such a positive way. We also understand that within 20 seconds, you can hurt someone. However, why would you use such a small period of time to hurt someone when you can use it for good and use it for power? And I think it's such a cool idea. In the movie, they talk about this guy was really afraid to ask this girl out. And they said 20 seconds, you look at your watch, you say, okay, 20 seconds, go. And you start your 20 seconds. And for those 20 seconds, you are on cloud nine. You can do whatever you want. You're as powerful. And then once the 20 seconds are over, you're done. You go back to being normal. You go back to losing that crazy confidence you had within those 20 seconds. And it allows you to understand just how much you can do within those 20 seconds. Why are we afraid? It's only a short period of time. Let's go. Let's do something. Let's conquer these fears, because 20 seconds once it's done, you don't have to do it anymore. And the last thing that I have learned within my 22 years of life, the 22nd thing that I've learned is make peace within your heart. Now, what I mean is understand who you are and live like that. This is my favorite quote of all time, and I'm going to read it so I don't ruin it. Don't let the hardness of others ruin the kindness in you. And it's such a powerful quote, because everyone in the world has their own agenda. They have their own personality. They have their own little funny things that make them them. However, you cannot allow things that make them who they are ruin the goodness in you and the kindness in you. I always, people would laugh at me because we'd be on the street and I'd see someone with a cool haircut and be like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, or cool jacket. And people would be like, what are you doing? That's so weird. And I said, no, it's a thought that I had. Why not tell the person? It's not like I'm saying that they look ugly. I'm telling them they look nice. It's a good idea. Let's try to make the world lighter and better and happier by really shining our kindness. And I think it's really important. And I'm not saying, I'm so amazing. Not at all. But I'm saying don't allow other people's insecurities or other people's hardness, or even if someone is so rude to you, you do not have to lower yourself to their level just because they're an idiot. Understand that you are the way you are. Be proud of the way you are. And don't let other people's issues bleed into you. Well, it has been 22 years of life, and I'm very proud to say that I'm really happy as to where I am in the world. And I think it's really cool to be able to watch our own progress and watch how we're growing in ourselves. And at the end of the day, we're really at the beginning of this journey. We really have so much left, thankfully. We have so much left of life to live. And I think it's really important to understand that as we grow and as we develop and as we progress, we're becoming ourselves more and more and more and more. Every single year, whether you're 80 or 10 or 40, you're still growing into the person that you're going to be. And it's really important to be proud of ourselves, to be able to say, I am so happy with who I am, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and just live life. So this is what I've done in my 22 years, and hopefully I will continue to grow and continue to prosper and continue to be here on this channel and share my journey with you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know things that you've learned down below, and hopefully we'll keep learning. Bye.